We have this picture of an 1892 immigrant trying to put his hands in the bread and the butter. This was done by a newspaper columnist or a cartoonist. This is how influential it is. If you look at it back then, there was only like one or two newspapers maybe people would get. I don't know. It was very limited though. And back then, 7% literacy, give or take. These people could not read. They could not write. I mean, assuming they're getting the newspaper, they could read, right? But they could understand a picture even if they couldn't read. So this was way more powerful. Most of them were farmers. These people looked like them. The other guy was meant purposefully not to look like them. And this is white racism on white. So I'm tired of black people saying, they own it all, because they don't. This is immigration from white countries. This is what I do when I do ancestry. I'm not going to get off topic, but this person in this photo is watching this. Put yourself in this person's shoes in 1892. You don't read, you don't write, you go out your farm, you put your dirt in your shovel. Who do you know? You wake up, you go, dunk, 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 dirt and shovel. You can't read, you can't write, you don't know shit. There's no fucking internet. There's no fucking stars. Einstein's Einstein's theory of relativity, none of that exists. There's no Encyclopedia Britannica, nothing from the 80s, 70s, nothing. There's no fucking music. You got Beethoven, Bach, whatever. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe. And then you can go to your church, your neighbors, your friends, your family, who all think like you because they all have the same fucking access to internet information. You might go one or two towns over, and then you have your pastor, your religion, and then you say, well, pastor, father, what do you know? And he says the same fucking shit because he got the same fucking paper as you. Everybody has the same thoughts. It's uniformity. And today, let's fast forward, they're hitting country bumpkins because the guy back then is a smart fucking Harvard grad telling you exactly what to think. And today, you have the internet. Now it's a little different because you say, okay, I got NBC, Fox News, CNBC, CBS, CNN, whatever, right? Today is about 5 fucking sources. We can argue a little bit more, but 5 basic sources. There was 50 in the 1980s. That's a fact. We can debate what roughly. Today, even if you go on the internet, it says it's a great bastion of fucking information. Fine. Let's say I go to site xyz.com. What's posted on there? Where do they get it from? If they got that information from CNN, then it's all, where do they get it from? You got to trace it back to the source. It's like a river flowing downhill. If all their information is coming from these 5 sources, the Associated Press, or whatever will you be, then really we're all just quoting the same fucking sources. There's like 5 dudes in the fucking federal government, like the CIA, leaking information, and we're all getting it from the same sources. They're all quoting different parts of the same fucking 20-page article. Fox is quoting the sources that benefit them. CNN's quoting the sources that benefit them. So forth and so on. Then the other websites are cherry picking it, putting it out there. It looks like conservative and liberal media. It's not. It's the same media. They're cherry picking it. We're taking it, posting it, making funny little memes, twisting it to our advantage, posting it against each other, weaponizing it, and then we're putting it out here to make this type of bullshit, and then we're like, ha ha ha, and then the dumb motherfuckers who don't have an education are going, I'm going to make my vote based on this, because they're too old, they don't understand the internet. This is my fucking point. This is why older people don't understand the internet tend to be Republican. They get more swayed that way, and they swear to God they're being lied to. And I'm not saying liberals who are younger aren't being lied to. They are, but they tend to be better off at fact-checking it. But if you're fact-checking it, and it gets led to the same fucking 5 sources, and you can't figure out what the original information was in the source, then it doesn't matter, because everybody's being fucked. This is why being an intelligent fact-checker and researching matters, and this is why everybody should do ancestry, because it teaches you what is fucking fake, what is fucking whatever, and then you learn how the history of the world works. You learn how we got here. So I'm tying it all in. That was a segue and yada, yada, yada. You get my point. Have a nice day.